Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today I have some updates regarding my testosterone replacement therapy. And if you haven't watched the video regarding me talking about it, it's up on the channel. So go check it out. It goes over the beginning and why I went on it and how I went on it and what I felt and this and that, the different dosages that I was on up to today, which is about 2.5 years later. So now I have upped my dose with my doctor. And this is all doctor regulated. It's all in the name of anti-aging, optimizing your hormones, and just being the best and feeling the best that you can be and being the healthiest you can be. So still doing regular blood work, checking everything out, making sure everything is optimized and making sure everything is great. I have upped my dose with my doctor to 200 to 210 milligrams a week of testosterone cypionate, split into 3 different injections per week. So, Wednesday, Friday, Sunday, 70, 70, 70, which is 210 milligrams. Now, it's been only 2 weeks. Tomorrow will mark the 2-week mark, and I want to document, how I've felt, why I've decided to increase the dose, and to give you guys the 2-week rundown. So right off the bat, I feel like this is the perfect dose for me. I feel like this is the dose that I always thought TRT would feel like. And that's the really interesting thing with TRT is that there's no one dose that applies to everyone. So it's not like everyone's going to be happy on 100 milligrams or 150 milligrams, which 150 is honestly a really great dose for a lot of people. If anything, it's a real true high TRT dose. Now, I did all my blood work about a month ago before I decided to increase, and my estrogen is at 130 and the max is 170. So it's still within range. It's still within a good spot. And the thing is, when you go on testosterone, you increase your test, but your body will increase the estrogen as well. And you want to make sure your estrogen doesn't get out of whack, because there can be a whole myriad of different problems with that too, such as cancers when you go high on the estrogen, too high, right? So potential cancers. So the thing is, now that I'm on 200, I feel really amazing. Over the last 2 weeks, I have been extremely more level-headed, just nicer. I just feel like I'm much nicer to people, much more calm. I feel like I'm just happier in general. It does take some time for your cells to be saturated with the new level of testosterone, typically 6 weeks or so. Considering I've been on testosterone replacement therapy for 2.5 years now, this dose probably will hit a little bit faster. So maybe, 4 weeks or something like that until, my blood levels are fully saturated with this amount. Now, right off the bat, the things that I've noticed in these 2 weeks, the first week you notice a little bit here or there, but it's this second week that I started to notice the most. I feel like I'm just much more centered, much more balanced hormonally. I just feel really good. In the gym, I would say workouts feel a lot easier. It's really interesting. When you contract your muscle, you get like a high off of it. Like you feel really good doing physical labor. Like whether you're like walking up the hill with groceries or, for example, I went to Science World about a week ago with my girlfriend, and there's a lot of different exhibits and different games and stuff in there where you can have fun. And one of the things was a wheelchair race. Like a wheelchair Olympics, you go in there and it's to demonstrate how difficult it actually is to move this thing. And it's really heavy, man. It's really difficult. So I went in there and she didn't want to go against me. And there was this like 9, 10-year-old kid that came in. So he sits, there's like a bunch of people watching. I'm going head to head with this kid and it goes 3, 2, 1, beep. And you have like the little animation, like Nintendo animation of like you in the wheelchair and him in the wheelchair, and like they move up depending on how fast you go to the finish line. Dude, I have never felt that level of just feeling really good, exerting enormous amounts of energy right out the gate, like freaking like a horse ready to just run and burst. I am freaking heaving ho on this thing, man. I am freaking like meant for this. I'm just like just going like crazy. And I just like not even looking at where I'm at. And like there's this like kid next to me and he's like, eh. I just fucking smoked him. I smashed him, dude. Just absolutely annihilated him out of the park. And it is what it is. I'm sorry, but I'm gonna do my best when I go up again in a race. And but I felt in that moment like you just like the more you're in that physical labor, the more good you feel. And I can't even imagine what it's like for like all the dudes who are watching the channel and like all the dudes in the gym and stuff in the world who are on like steroid doses, because 200 milligrams is still considered sports TRT. This is like what athletes would take, like professional athletes would take this level or like a little bit higher perhaps, depending on like what their doctors prescribe. plus other stuff. Who knows if they're doing GH and this and that. I can only speculate. My theory, my opinion. That was really interesting. And I got out of the chair and I'm like, holy shit, like that. And like, you know, she was laughing her ass off. And I'm just like, dude, I fucking smoked that kid. You know, like you just destroyed him. But hey, you know, if he wants to be better, he's going to have to train better. So, but I noticed that, like, it was just like you get this rush off of like contracting your muscles and like putting in effort. Like that thing Joe Rogan said, like effort feels good. Like it actually felt amazing. Like I was getting like a dopamine rush off of exerting myself physically. It was very, very interesting. And I think that's, you know, one of the things that a adequate level of testosterone does for the body. And I think it's kind of like a prehistoric thing where, like, you know, you're hunting a freaking saber-toothed tiger or like woolly mammoth or something, and you're like getting a rush off of, you know, running and jumping and fighting or whatever it might be. So, you know, mixed with adrenaline and everything like that. So that's one thing I noticed. You know, in the gym, you just feel really good contracting muscles. Like you can feel everything moving. Like your mind to muscle connection, I feel like, is a lot better. And I don't think it's mental, because I've been lifting and doing sports literally since I was 3.5 years old. Noticing all of this, I'm very in tune with my body, and I can see, like, I've just been so much more balanced and calm. I feel healthier. I feel good. I mean, that'll obviously be seen in the blood work done in, you know, the future. But to mitigate any sort of potential estrogen increase as you get with higher levels of test, I'm taking DIM, which is a natural herbal supplement from broccoli and I believe it's called carnivorous vegetables. You know, like the green leafy, you know, like those things, like leeks or whatever. I don't believe in anti-aromatase. I don't believe in aromatase inhibitors or anti-estrogen for TRT doses. I think if your estrogen is out of whack from your TRT dose, then you need to probably lower your TRT. At 150 to 170 milligrams a week, which is what I was on for over a year, my estrogen was 130 on the scale, which was 170 is the max of what's, you know, within range. So I think doing 200 to 10 a week and taking 2 pills of DIM, which is a natural herbal supplement, should hopefully keep me in range. But we'll see what happens. We'll see where it's at. If it's too high, then I'm going to lower my dose. I'm not going to be an idiot and take anti-aromatase or anything like that. So, and that's just my choice. You know, I think if you're on steroid doses, you know, you know, high doses, you need to do whatever you need to do, and that's your own prerogative. So, but yeah, there's that. Sex drive. I've always had a really, really good sex drive my whole life when I was natty, everything. And this is now feels like back when I was, you know, 20 years old, 17, 18 years old. If anything, maybe even more. I just feel much more like me, like myself. I feel like I can kind of run through a wall, the expression. When you are ready to perform, when you need to perform physically for something in the gym or whatever, you are there. You are ready. You're like an animal. And it just feels really good. Like you just feel really good. You're very in tune. You're very level-headed. There are so many androgen receptors in the brain itself, which testosterone binds to, the testosterone molecule. And so I can only imagine that my brain is just much more balanced and being fed all of this testosterone, particularly in the amygdala, which for people with OCD is riddled. The amygdala itself is riddled with androgen receptors, which are binding to testosterone, and people with OCD have a broken amygdala. I imagine it's, you know, keeping me pretty calm, pretty level-headed, and pretty grounded. Now, we'll see what happens if I get angry or something. You know, maybe I don't know. But so far, things don't get under my skin as much. I feel like I'm a lot nicer. I'm a lot more empathetic and just overall more real. That's the best way I could explain it. And again, this is a testosterone therapy dose. This is not a, you know, steroid juice head dose. It is a high dose for testosterone replacement therapy. For my body, I felt like I needed to increase the dose. I felt like there were too many imbalances at the dose I was at previously. It was just too low for me. And I had over a year to experiment with it and to see how I feel. And I wanted to go more. I felt like my body needed more, and every body is different and unique to that. So these are my findings so far. Hungrier. I sleep way better, way deeper sleep. Brain fog is way less, even though it's, you know, only a 25% increase of test. Maybe a 30% increase of test. But I feel like everything's really balanced now, and I hope it stays that way. So we're going to see how it goes over the next year at this dose. The blood levels, you know, I'll show you guys my blood work and all that stuff, and we'll see if it increases to a dangerous level. If anything is out of whack, then I'm going to lower the dose, no problem. Because after all, at the end of the day, I'm here to be as healthy as I can. This is not a steroid dose or a vanity sort of thing or a bodybuilding sort of thing. So yeah, we'll see how the gains come in the gym. We'll see how everything changes as I saturate my cells with this level of testosterone, and I'll keep you guys updated with everything. I'm going to be vlogging a lot more as I take my fitness journey a lot more seriously, especially with this higher dose of TRT. So thanks for listening to what I had to say about this. And yeah, if you're interested in taking testosterone, please go talk to your doctor. I wouldn't recommend going any other route or means. I would recommend talking to your doctor, making sure you do it super safe, and doing it under a healthcare practitioner who can check your blood levels and everything like that, because it can get out of hand. It's a slippery slope. So anyways, that's my thoughts, and that's my experience so far in these 2 weeks. I'll keep you guys updated as we go forwards, and stay tuned for the next video. Later.